Everybody wants to hate Freud. Why is that? It's because there's a bias against him. A bias. Oh, let me get that right. I remember sitting in psychology classes, and there was once I was in a child psychology class. As a ordained minister of the Universal Life out of Modesto, California, I can raise your kid. Give him to me. This child psychology class, they're bringing up the Oedipus complex. And they're like, nobody's even read the story. I've read it since then because I have to know. I gotta know. If I'm saying something, it's because I made it up of my own volition. You can't make shit up if you don't know what you're talking about. And everybody's talking bad about Freud. And Freud put out so much. I've not read any of it. You have no idea how much he put out. And some girl talking about the Oedipus complex. She's like, it's bullshit, is what she was saying. She was saying it was bullshit, and I turned around and I said, what you're saying is bullshit. And I raised my hand. I said, I can have an understanding of that. Because I remember once, I was probably 3. I'm gonna go with 3 when I was getting my brain back together after the head injury. And I looked up at my mother as I was sitting on her lap, and I said, when I grow up, I'm going to marry you. I was going to take her away from her husband, my father. Isn't that hillbilly enough? And I just remember she had probably the most loving look on her face. You know, how do you describe that? You can only match it. You can't get any better than that. I'm gonna marry you when I grow up. And then I have another memory after that, shortly in that same time frame. And I'm talking about this in class. Fighting against the idea of the Oedipus complex being bullshit. I guess I have to believe it because I'm standing there in my memory and it's dusk. And the colors are in the sky, looking down the hill off from Polecat Road. And my dad was on a tractor. My dad was a man. And I remember standing there and thinking, it's this little kid. I was like, oh, how can I compete with that? And so if you're not going to accept that the Oedipus complex is something that really goes on in small boys, it's the Elektra complex with girls. They want to have their daddy over their mother. But if you're gonna stand there and say it's not real, these are some of my earliest memories. Just a little kid. I don't know how small I can get. I don't know how large I can get. One day I'm gonna levitate. And I'm gonna show you. Not today. Not tomorrow. I haven't done it yet. Outside of a dream, but it's real enough. So you've got people talking against Freud that haven't even read him. They've pushed us down the road of forgetting what Freud was saying. I don't know if he's right or wrong. I know he created Jung. And I know there are things that he's right about. So it must have been worthwhile. And this woman who was the professor, some woman from Israel, she had said to me after I finished the story, she looked at me with this great big eye, maybe two of them, and she said, "You are the most genuine person I have ever met." That's what this is all about, right? Don't you want to get inside the mind of a single person? Will that be for here or to go?